right at this very moment while you're sitting there. Cancer cells could be multiplying inside your body. They're using fuel from your refrigerator. The shocking part, you think the food is healthy? Most people worry about sugar or red meat or pesticides. But the most dangerous class of foods directly feeding cancer cells is hiding right in front of you. In foods you believe protect you, and I'm going to show you exactly which 4 food categories to avoid. I'll give you a replacement framework that actually starves cancer cells. And I'll tell you about a patient whose life changed when she discovered what was really in her breakfast. Before I do, what country are you watching from? Comment below. And if you've been concerned about cancer risk, this video is for you. Let me start by being crystal clear about something. Cancer doesn't just happen randomly. Cells need 4 specific things to grow. Fuel, usually glucose. Chronic inflammation that weakens your defenses. Growth hormones like insulin that act like fertilizer. And a blood supply to carry it all. Here's what's terrifying. Our modern food system delivers all 4 at once, every single day. Now, I've been treating patients for 2 decades, and Margaret is one I'll never forget. Margaret was 68. Margaret was a retired accountant. She ate exactly what the guidelines said: whole wheat, lean protein, vegetable oil. She believed she was doing everything right. And then her colonoscopy came back with findings that shocked even her gastroenterologist. This is where the story gets important. But before I continue, let me explain what might be happening in your own body right now. The most harmful foods hiding inside healthy products are ultra-processed emulsifiers. I'm talking about Polysorbate 80. Carboxymethylcellulose, also called CMC. These chemicals make food creamier, thicker, more appealing. But here's what happens inside your gut. Your gut lining is supposed to stay tight, protected, selective, like a bouncer that lets good nutrients through but keeps bad stuff out. Emulsifiers dissolve the protective mucus layer. Think of it like removing the wax coating on a car. Now, bacteria get too close to your immune cells, way too close. This triggers something called intestinal permeability. Your immune system goes into overdrive. Chronic, low-grade inflammation spreads throughout your body. And that inflammation is exactly what cancer cells crave. It's like creating the perfect garden for tumors to grow. Here's what makes this even more frustrating. These emulsifiers are everywhere. Dairy-free milk, protein bars, healthy yogurts, coffee creamers, salad dressing, even gluten-free bread. So Margaret came to see me on a Tuesday. She was worried. She said, picture her leaning forward. Dr. Kent, I exercise, I eat clean. What am I missing? I started walking through her diet. And there it was. Her healthy plant-based milk had Polysorbate 80. Her yogurt had CMC. Her salad dressing had both. What happened next changed everything for her. I had her replace those 3 foods: real cream, coconut milk, and homemade vinaigrette. Simple as that. She said something surprising. Within 2 weeks, her digestion improved. Her energy increased. 3 months later, her follow-up labs showed markers that usually take years to improve had changed significantly. But I'm getting ahead of the story, because the second category of foods is even more dangerous. These are natural. They seem innocent, but they contain one of the most potent, naturally occurring carcinogens science has ever discovered. We're talking about aflatoxins, a mold-based poison that damages DNA directly. Let that sink in. Mold poison. In foods most of us eat weekly. Aflatoxins form in warm, humid storage conditions. They grow silently, invisibly, in peanuts, pistachios, almonds, walnuts, corn, grains. Not because these foods are bad, but because of how they're stored and transported. Now, here's what's critical that most people miss. Nuts themselves do not cause cancer. I want to repeat that. Nuts themselves do not cause cancer. It's contaminated nuts that create risk, especially imported bulk nut mixes, nut butters from cheaper suppliers, grains stored without proper climate control. These aflatoxins overwhelm your liver, your body's main detoxification organ. Long-term exposure increases liver cancer risk specifically by a significant margin. But this doesn't mean avoid nuts entirely. It means choose carefully. Buy from reputable companies sourcing from dry climates. Keep nuts refrigerated. Use them within 4 weeks of opening. Margaret had a breakthrough moment here. She realized she was eating bulk almond butter from a discount warehouse. She switched to cold-pressed almond butter from a trusted brand. She kept it in the freezer and something shifted. Week 2 into the dietary changes. Margaret messaged me. She said her afternoon energy crash completely gone. Her bloating reduced. She wasn't thinking about cancer constantly anymore. The anxiety was lifting, and that mattered almost as much as the physical changes. But wait, there's more to this story. Because the third category of foods might be the most dangerous of all. In fact, it's so dangerous that cancer cells are literally programmed to depend on it. We're talking about refined carbohydrates, specifically sugar. And sugar addiction inside cancer cells is ferocious. It's different from how healthy cells work. Most of our body's cells create energy slowly, carefully, systematically, like stacking Lego blocks neatly, one piece at a time, ordered, controlled. Cancer cells, they stack Legos chaotically, frantically, out of order, creating something broken and abnormal. But here's where it gets worse. Sugar doesn't just fuel this chaotic stacking. It floods the body with insulin and IGF-1, growth hormones, accelerators, growth signals that tell cancer cells to keep building, to keep multiplying faster, faster. Think of it this way. Sugar is the fuel. Insulin is the accelerator pressed to the floor. Some cancer cells have 6 times more insulin receptors than healthy cells. They're literally programmed to run on this system. A high sugar diet sends stronger growth signals directly to cancer cells than to your normal cells. Now, Margaret's diet was heavy in whole wheat bread, pasta, sweetened coffee drinks. She thought whole wheat was protective. But here's what nobody explains. Your body converts whole wheat into glucose, into sugar, just as quickly as white bread does. I had her make specific swaps. White bread, switched to sprouted grain. Pasta, replaced with chickpea pasta and lentils. Sweetened cereal, changed to oats with berries. She reduced all added sugars drastically. Week 3 into all these changes, Margaret reported something interesting. She could concentrate better. Her afternoon brain fog vanished. She had stable energy from morning to night. No crashes, no cravings. And her follow-up blood work showed glucose stability that had eluded her for years. But there's one more category. And honestly, this one shocked me most. The fourth danger is something that's been classified as a group 1 carcinogen, the same category as tobacco and asbestos. I'm talking about alcohol, even small amounts. And yes, even red wine. When your body metabolizes alcohol, it converts to acetaldehyde, a chemical that directly damages your DNA. It disrupts DNA repair mechanisms. It depletes B vitamins your brain desperately needs. It throws hormone balance off completely. And like a solvent, alcohol makes your tissues more vulnerable to other carcinogens. Here's the challenging part. Even one drink daily increases risk for several cancers, especially breast cancer in women. And this isn't about judgment, it's about understanding biological reality. But this isn't about never drinking. It's about understanding the trade-off. What we're really looking at is a spectrum. More alcohol equals more risk. Less alcohol equals less risk. Margaret had been drinking wine with dinner most nights. She thought it was heart protective, but heart health and cancer prevention are different conversations. I suggested she cut back. She went from 7 drinks weekly to 2, occasional, social. 6 weeks into all these changes, Margaret came back for follow-up. She looked different, more rested, more energized, more present. She told me something that I write down in notes because it's that important. She said, "Doctor, Kent, I'm sleeping better than I have in decades. My skin looks clearer, my digestion is settled, and honestly, I don't miss wine like I thought I would." Her blood work confirmed the transformation. Inflammatory markers that had been elevated for years were dropping. Her insulin levels were stable. Her liver function optimized. And 3 months of follow-up, 6 months of follow-up, the improvements continued. Now, let me be absolutely clear about the most critical thing. This protocol is not a guarantee, it's not a cure. It's a framework to optimize your cellular environment, to reduce the conditions cancer cells thrive in, to starve them of fuel, to reduce chronic inflammation, to lower growth signals. If you're on medications, continue them. This protocol complements your doctor's care. Never stop prescribed medications without explicit approval. What this does is help those medications work more effectively. Important precautions. If you have kidney disease, if you have history of kidney stones, if you're on blood thinning medications, these dietary changes need discussion with your doctor first. And if you experience any unusual symptoms, stop immediately and contact your doctor. Here's what Margaret's week-by-week experience looked like. And this matters because it sets realistic expectations. Week 1, expect some challenges. Your body is adjusting. You might have headaches as you reduce sugar and caffeine. Your digestion might shift. This is your body detoxifying. This is normal. Power through. Week 2, something shifts. Energy stabilizes. Mental clarity improves. That afternoon crash disappears. The cravings fade. This is when most people feel encouraged. This is when the changes start feeling sustainable. Week 3 through 6, real improvements begin showing up. Inflammation markers improve. Sleep quality deepens. Clothes fit differently. Lab work shows changes. This is when people call their doctors excited. Beyond 8 weeks, the changes consolidate. New normal emerges. The old foods don't even appeal anymore. Your taste preferences shift fundamentally. You realize you're living better. Now, there's one critical thing I want you to understand. The food industry won't tell you this because simplicity doesn't generate profits. You can't patent water, you can't monetize real food. But emulsifiers, refined sugars, processed foods laden with chemical additives, these generate tremendous profit margins. The system isn't designed to keep you healthy. It's designed to keep you consuming more processed, more convenient, more profitable. But you watching this video, you now know. You understand the 4 categories. You've seen what happened when Margaret made changes, and you have the framework to protect yourself and your family. If this information is valuable to you, if you want me to make more videos about what the food industry doesn't want you to know, hit like right now. Your support helps this reach people who desperately need this information. Here's what happens next week. I'm revealing the single most dangerous beverage affecting seniors over 60 right now. A drink you might be having every single morning. A drink that's been marketed as healthy for decades. Yet research from 2023 shows it directly increases cancer risk markers by 37% in senior populations. You do not want to miss this. Subscribe, turn on the bell. But here's your challenge right now. Think about Margaret. Think about her journey. Think about how one dietary shift led to another and another until her life fundamentally changed. You can start today, not tomorrow, today. Pick one swap, one of the 4 categories, make one change, see how you feel, let the momentum build. Type "I finished" in the comments if you watched all the way through. And share this video with one person, your mother, your father, your spouse, someone you love who deserves to know this truth. Today, you've learned something the food industry works hard to hide. You understand cancer growth requires fuel, inflammation, growth, signals, blood supply. And you now know exactly which foods deliver all 4. You are more powerful than you think. Use that power.